Hello, what's up? I hope all of you are doing great. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to this revision session where we are going to revise Essay 580. So like all our revisions, here also we are going to revise all the concepts along with the questions of your past exam, RTP, MTP and study material. Now, sir, these board notes that I'm going to refer in this revision, you can download from our Telegram channel, Clear CA with Shubham Keswani. Link is in the description. So now, like a good CA student, first of all, put your attendance by liking this video, okay? Because this video is specially for our QT, Southern India students who want English revision video. So it can reach out to more students. If you are new to the channel, do subscribe the channel for more such amazing revision videos. So first of all, talking about SA 580. Sir, SA 580 is the last standard of 500 series. And one thing that we take at last in audit is written representation. So always remember, last standard of SA 500 series 580. Last thing we take in audit, written representation. So easily you can remember the name. Now the question is, what is a written representation? So as the name suggests, it is a written statement by the management to the auditor, and it has two purposes. Sir, what are the two purposes? First purpose is to confirm certain matters. Example, in SA 501, confirm the completeness of litigations and claims. In SA 560, confirm that subsequent events are adjusted and disclosed. And in SA 570, confirm the management plans and their feasibility. Or used by the auditor to support other evidence. For example, in SA 500, whatever oral inquiry you do, to support the oral inquiry, you take written representation. So this is the basic definition which you just need to understand. Got it? Got it, sir. Generally, sir, who gives the written representation? It is given by the head of finance, generally the CFO of the companies. Now, sir, understand few things. Written representation is written, so financial statements are also written. So financial statements are written representation? No. Sir, the assertions in the financial statement? No. The books and records? No. Written representation does not mean financial statement, assertions or books of accounts. These are the separate statements, separate written statements from the management to the auditor. Okay, sir. Second thing, is written representation necessary? Answer is yes. So can I take a written representation from management that the whole financial statements are okay? Because if I take the written representation that whole financial statements are okay, I don't need to collect any other evidence. Can I do like this? The answer is no. Written representation is a necessary evidence, but along with it, you also need to collect other evidence. Whatever other evidence are required, those also need to be collected because it is not a sufficient and appropriate evidence. So always remember, it is a necessary but not a sufficient and appropriate evidence. So what you have to do is, even if you have taken written representation, it does not affect the nature and extent of other evidence that you obtain as an auditor. So what you can say, written representation is like sambar. Sir, why? See, whenever I am having idli or dosa, can I say sambar is necessary? I to feel it is necessary. Okay, sir. But is having sambar enough? No, sir. On its own, sambar is not enough. To support sambar, we need idli dosa, we need other chutney. So it is necessary but not sufficient and appropriate on its own. So written representation is just like sambar. Wow, sir. Now, sir, next topic is objective of auditor. Very easy topic. This topic you just need to understand. Sir, what are the three objectives of auditor? The first objective is taking the written representation that management has fulfilled their responsibility. Sir, what are the responsibility? To prepare the financial statement, to put proper internal controls so that there is no material misstatement. And the last thing is, all the transactions should be disclosed in financial statement. So first thing is, management believe their responsibility for preparation of financial statement and providing complete information to the auditor. Okay, sir. Second thing is, auditor uses the written representation to support other evidence. So as I told you, to support oral inquiry, we take written representation. So support other evidence, support other evidence, or for some specific assertions like completeness of litigations, we can take a written representation. And the last thing is, you need to respond appropriately. Whether you have got the written representation or you have not got, you should respond appropriately to the same. So says respond appropriately whether the written representation is provided or not provided to the auditor. Sir, if it is not provided, how do we respond? Wait, Baba, we will discuss. So these 3 points you just need to read. Okay? What is the objective? The objective is simple: management responsibility, written representation. Second, we take the written representation to support other evidence. And the third point is very simple, that responding appropriately whether you have got or you have not got the written representation. Now, sir, what is the format of written representation? As I said, it is like a written statement from the management to the auditor. So it is like a written statement, or you can say a representation letter, as the name suggests, written representation letter from the management addressed to the auditor. Now, sir, I will ask you a question. Please give me the answer. Okay, okay, sir. Please look at the board. No cheating, huh? Management has made a written public statement about its responsibility. ठीक है? As per the law regulation, management has made a written public statement about its responsibility. This public statement covers the written representation content. Now, sir, when such statement is already covering the written representation content, should such matter be included again in the written representation? Answer is no. Such matter should not be included again because of repetition. We don't want any repetition, so such matter should not be again included in the written representation. So this is what your book says. Everyone, please focus here. If the law regulation requires the management to make some written public statement about the responsibility, and as an auditor, I feel that such statements provide some or all of the written representation. So whatever matters are covered by the statements should not be included in the representation letter. Easy peasy? Yes, sir. Now comes the most important topic of the standard: date and period covered by written representation. Take 2 sips of water and get ready. Now, sir, let's discuss about the date first. Talking about the date, you tell me what should be the date of written representation. My birth date, 26th June. Your birth date, something like that. No, sir, we can't put a specific date like this. So what should we do? Sir, the written representation date should be fixed with reference to the date of audit report. Oh. So tell me one thing. Written representation should be dated before the date of audit report or after the date of audit report? Sir, it is a necessary evidence. Unless you have the written representation, you cannot date the audit report. So always remember, written representation should be dated before the audit report. That means audit report cannot be dated before the written representation. Audit report cannot be dated before the written representation. So the first point says it is a necessary evidence. So audit report can't be dated, can't be signed before the date of written representation. Now the question comes, if audit report is after and written representation is before, how close should be the date of written representation? So tell me one thing. In SA 560, do you take written representation? Yes, sir. Written representation for subsequent events, that all the events up to the date of audit report which require adjustment or disclosure have been adjusted and disclosed. So can I say, when you need written representation till the date of audit report, so the written representation should be dated as near as practicable to the date of audit report? Yes, sir. So this is the second point. As per SA 560 subsequent event, we are concerned with the events up to the date of audit report which require adjustment or disclosure. So therefore, written representation should be dated as near as practicable. Say with me, as near as practicable, but not after the date of audit report. And the last point says, if during the audit, okay, if during the audit, let's say for a specific assertion like completeness of litigations and claims, I took a written representation. Now, sir, when the audit is about to end, I feel that written representation is old. So can I ask for an updated written representation? Answer is yes. So if you have taken a written representation on a specific assertion like completeness, which was obtained during the audit, you can take an updated written representation. So revising the concept of date, 3 things should be there. Date of audit report cannot be before the written representation. Written representation should be dated as near as practicable to the audit report. And the last point is, if old written representation is outdated, you can take a updated written representation. Clear? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Now, sir, let's talk about the period. What period will be covered by written representation? So tell me one thing. Why are you taking the written representation? Sir, as a evidence so that we can give our report. So basically, just to prepare your report, you need the written representation. Yes, sir. So whatever period is covered by your audit report, that period will be covered by written representation. So let's say entity has prepared the financial statement for 3 years. ठीक है, financial year 22 23, 23 24, 24 25. So can I say our opinion will cover 3 years? Yes, sir. So written representation should also be for 3 years. So first point says, basic point, it should cover all the periods referred in audit report. So for example, management has prepared restated financial statement as per law for 3 years, 22 23, 23 24, 24 25. So your written representation will also cover the 3 years. ठीक है सर, why do we need to take written representation for the older year? Because management needs to reaffirm that previous written representation are still appropriate. They are still appropriate for you. Got it, sir? Now a question is coming in my mind. Please clarify. Sir, this year though we will take all the written representation, but for these 2 years, for them we have already taken the written representation in the previous year. Yes, sir. So again, do we need to take all the written representation again? No. Here you can apply some smart work. Sir, what is the smart work? Instead of taking all the representation again, take a letter from management. Okay. In that letter, ask the management whether there are any changes. Whether there are any changes in the previously issued representation. And if yes, what they are. What are the changes? Tell us. So what the auditor can do, you don't need to take all of them again. Auditor and management can agree to a form of representation which updates the prior period representation. How? By addressing whether any changes in the written representation, and if yes, what they are. Are the 2 points clear? Yes, sir. First of all, covering all the periods. But for prior periods, you don't need to take all of them again. Just ask them whether there are any changes, and if yes, what they are. Easy peasy? Yes, sir. One more doubt in my mind. Can it happen that for these 2 years, for these 2 years, there was a different management, let's say management 1, and in this year, yeah, why it's not working? I think it will work. In this year, the management is new. There is a change in the management. So the people who are present in this year, they are saying we can give you the representation for this year, but we cannot give for this year because we were not present. We were not present in this year. So now in this case, what to do? So understand one thing. When the new management is there in this year, they are preparing the restated financial statement. So they are responsible for the whole financial statement. Oh, so their responsibility to provide the representation for all periods still remains. So you should collect the representation for all year. This is a point, please remember. If there is a change in the management, let's add some masala. SK masala. Current management may not be present in all the period. So they may say that we can't provide the written representation for prior period. So this does not reduce their responsibility for financial statement as whole. Therefore, auditor will request the written representation for all relevant periods. Is this basic came clear? Yes, sir. So three points in period. Cover all the periods to confirm that prior representations are still appropriate. Second thing, for previous period, don't need to take the representations again. Agree with the management to a letter which says whether there are any changes. If yes, what they are. And the third thing is, current management may not be present in all the periods, so they may assert that we are not in a position to share the representation for prior periods. Still, they are responsible for financial statement as a whole, so their responsibility to provide written representation covering all the period still remains. Still, you need to collect the written representation covering all periods. Easy peasy? Yes, sir. Now, sir, on this concept only, come to your question bank. We have question number 1. Okay, everyone, please look at the question. You will love it. How will CAN deal with the above situation as per relevant standard on auditing? May 24, MTP May 25, MTP September 25, and soon in your exam hall. It says CAN is carrying out the audit of restated financials of the past 3 years, 21-22, 22-23, 23-24, similar to the example that we just discussed. Okay, sir. CAN is planning to give the audit report on 5th August 24, covering these restated financial statement. Before issuing the report, CAN requested management representation letter. Management representation letter is another name of written representation. Management provided the written representation dated 1st April 24, covering the period of financial year 23-24 only. So there were 3 years. They are giving the representation for this year, not for this year. Why? They said we are not in a position to provide for financial year 22-23, 21-22 because we were not in that period. We were not available in that period, so we cannot provide for that period. Now, how will you deal with this situation? So, sir, first of all, first case, is the date of audit report given? No, sir. Date of issue of report is given. So let's assume this is the date of audit report. Audit report is 5th August. Written representation is 1st April 24. Can I say they are very far? So the first point here is date of written representation. It should be as near as practicable to the date of report. So here this is the first problem. Second problem is period. Written representation should cover all the periods, not only the current period. So this thing that management is saying that we can only provide the written representation for current period, this is wrong. Now, sir, how do we present the answer? Simple. Just write the theory of date, 3 points of date. Then write the theory of period, the 3 points of period. And after this, you write the facts of the case and simply write requirement of the auditor to request written representation covering all period still applies. Okay? And if the management does not provide written representation, what to do in this case? We are just going to discuss in the next 5-10 minutes. So I hope till now everything is clear in this case. Question number 1 is clear. Yes, sir. Let's do question number 2 also. It is also easy question. Here you have to point out whether there is any anomaly. Anomaly means any issue in the written representation. So don't read the whole question. I am telling you the issue. The game is audit report was dated 31st July 25 and written representation is dated 15th April 25. Again, can I say there is a long gap? Yes, sir. It is a very, very long gap. So this is the issue to be pointed out here, that auditor is concerned with the subsequent events till the date of audit report which require adjustment or disclosure. So written representation should be dated as near as practicable to the date of audit report. So in this case, this is the problem, that it is not close to the audit report. Okay? Similarly, ICI has also framed the answer. You can just read. First of all, they have mentioned the provision and then they have mentioned audit report is dated 31st July. However, the written representation hai, that is only dated 15th April. The written representation is dated 15th April. Now, sir, the last 2 topics of this standard. Take 2 sips of water. Get ready. Doubt on reliability of written representation. Sir, what does this topic says? It says if you get a written representation which is inconsistent, not matching with other evidence. Sir, example of inconsistency. I have taken a written representation that management has disclosed complete litigations and claims to the auditor. And at the same time, I have other evidence like confirmation, external confirmation from the external legal counsel. Through the confirmation, I get to know some litigations and claims are hidden. Management is hiding some litigations and claims. So, sir, our written representation is inconsistent with the confirmation that we have got. Now, sir, whenever there is some inconsistency, you should go to the management and discuss. So what you should do? Perform the audit procedures to resolve the matter. It is good if it gets resolved, but sir, if it stays unresolved, if the matter stays unresolved, that means management is not doing their work properly. Maybe they are dishonest. Maybe they are having some integrity issues. Maybe they are not competent. So how do you write it? If the matter is unresolved, reassess the DICE. So DICE means diligence, integrity, competence, and ethical values of the management. Now understand one thing. If I feel management is unethical, management lacks integrity, they are dishonest, can you trust the other evidence provided by the management? No. Can you trust the other representations provided by the management? No. So the next step says determine the effect on reliability of other representations and audit evidence in general. Now tell me one thing. If you cannot trust the evidence, it is as good as you have not got the evidence. If you cannot trust the evidence, it is as good as you have not got the evidence. So in this case, which opinion should be given? Disclaimer of opinion. So the last thing says, if you still conclude that written representations are not reliable, determine the effect on the audit opinion, and the standard says the impact is material and pervasive, so you should give disclaimer of opinion. Is the flow of the answer clear? Yes, sir. Once again, let's revise. Please focus on the board. Revision in revision. Whenever a written representation is inconsistent with other evidence, perform the procedure to resolve the matter. If stays unresolved, then reassess the dice. Dice means diligence, integrity, competence, ethical value. Once more, diligence, integrity, competence, ethical value. Now consider the impact on the reliability of other representations, oral and written, and other evidence in general. Now it is as good as you have not got the evidence because you cannot trust it. So determine the effect on audit opinion, that is disclaimer of opinion. Easy peasy? Yes, sir. Last topic of this essay, which says written representation not provided. Sir, what does this mean? Management is telling me something, but sir, they are not ready to give it in writing. They are saying something, but the same thing they are not ready to give in writing. Can I say there is something fishy? Yes, sir, there is something fishy. Now, can you again trust the management? No, sir. There are integrity issues. Again, when there are integrity issues, can you trust the other representation and evidence in general? Same thing. Can you trust the other representation and evidence in general? No. So when you can't trust, it is as good as you have not got them. So ultimately, again, you will give a disclaimer of opinion. So 3 points come when you say written representation not provided, discuss the matter. After discussion, if you feel there are fishy people, you cannot trust them, reevaluate their integrity. They are dishonest. Now, when you reevaluate the integrity, consider the impact on other evidence and other representations in general. Okay, sir. Now it is as good as you have not got the evidence. So lastly, take appropriate action, including possible effect on opinion, that is disclaimer of opinion. Now a student in the class says, sir, whenever we don't get evidence, we perform alternate procedure. So when we have not got the written representation, can we do a alternate procedure? अरे बाबा, there is no alternative to a written representation. ठीक है? There is no alternative to a written representation. No alternative can be performed here. So these are the 3 points. Again, I am discussing important topic. Discuss with the management. Reevaluate their integrity. They are dishonest people. So reevaluate the integrity and consider the impact on the reliability of other representation and evidence in general. Now, sir, lastly, take appropriate action, including the impact on audit opinion, that is disclaimer of opinion. Clear, boss? Clear, sir. Now, if you come to your question bank, few questions I want to discuss. First of all, question number 3, asked in RTP May 25. So you can see this standard has been asked in a lot of RTPs and MTPs recently. So soon you will find it in your exam hall. First part says whether the contention of the auditor is justified. We need to read the whole question. See what it says. Audit and Company is the auditor of Fun Journey Limited. Learn with fun. Auditor discussed the requirement of written representation from management, confirming that they have provided all information and access to the auditor. All the transactions are recorded in the financial statement. Audit was also near to the completion, but auditor disagreed with the management. So what was management saying? Management was saying that verbal communication is enough. Written representation is not required. Audit and Company explained that we need a formal written statement and that is mandatory. So Fun Journey refuses to provide a representation. So tell me whether the contention of auditor to ask for written representation for management's responsibility, whether it was correct. Yes, sir, it was correct. And this is what you need to write in your answer. So just copy the facts from the question that you can request the management to provide a representation about its responsibilities. So what are the responsibility? We already know. Preparation of financial statement as per applicable FRF. ठीक है, providing the auditor with all relevant information access, all transactions are recorded in financial statement, same things which were given in question, and then just say that the contention of auditor is correct. Easy peasy. Yes, sir. Second part of the question, what is the form of written representation? So what is the form means? Are baba, simple thing. It is like a representation letter from the management to the auditor, and 90% students will write this much only. It is like a representation letter addressed to the auditor. But sir, This is also to be written. Sir, what is this concept? I told you na, if law regulation ask the management to make some public statements, and these public statements cover the matters, ठीक है, cover the matters of written representation, so they should not be included again in the representation letter. So this point also need to be given. That's why I have given it in your book here, because it was asked in RTP May 25 and it is not there in your final study material. Okay sir, important. Next part of the question. How will the auditor proceed if the management refuses? So this is a direct question. 3 steps to be done. First step, discuss with the management, reevaluate the integrity, impact on other representation, evidence in general, and lastly take action, that is effect on the opinion, that is you should give a disclaimer of opinion. Is everything till here clear? Yes sir. Take 2 sips of water. Now I am going to do a very amazing question with you. A fusion of SA 580 and SA 240, MTP September 25. Be ready. Come on, turn the radio on. It's Friday night and I won't take long. I'ma do my hair, do my makeup on. Lovely question. Get ready, everyone. See what it says. MTP September 25 question. See what it says. How should C. Arvind deal with the situation? Read the whole question. C. Arvind is the auditor of Divinity Technology. Notice that Mr. Kamlesh has been engaged by management for investigation of a fraud within the organization. CA Arvind requested a copy of report to understand the nature, extent and implication of the suspected fraud. It is not actual fraud, it is suspected. So that he can consider its impact on the audit procedure and reporting. So what happened? There was a fraud investigation going on, and as a good auditor, I asked for the investigation report, but management did not provide it. So CA Arvind said, okay, you are not giving me the investigation report, it is fine. At least give me a written representation relation to fraud. So this is something which is very natural. We discuss in SA 240 also, that as an auditor, I can ask for written representation from the management for all the frauds. Management neither provided the investigation report nor they provided the written representation. Now, sir, how will you deal with this matter? So first of all, what is happening? I hope you understand. C. Arvind is the auditor. Mr. Kamlesh has done the investigation on a fraud. Now this company, the management is neither providing the investigation report, neither they are providing the written representation. How will you deal with this matter? So sir, first of all, whenever a fraud investigation is going on, okay, and for that fraud management is not providing the written representation, that means something significant is there. So the first thing that you need to write in your answer is, if written representation is not provided in this case, that means not a normal issue, but a significant issue exists. Clear, sir. Now the question comes, what we will write in our theory. So the first basic theory is what to do when the written representation is not provided. Okay, sir. 3 things: discuss the matter, integrity, impact on other evidence, written representation, and disclaimer of opinion. Then, sir, in SA 240, what did they ask in the question? Ki for the fraud, auditor want to consider his audit procedure and reporting. When it came to writing the answer, ICI ignored the procedure wala part. ICI wrote the reporting part of fraud. So what are the points of reporting in fraud? First of all, section 143 subsection 12. Sir, what does 143.12 says? That whenever there is a fraud of 1 crore or above by the officer or employee of the company, ठीक है, against the company, you have to report to central government, ठीक है, within 60 days. 143.12 we study. So thus such provision should be written. Apart from this, we also study Caro 2020, reporting to the members of the company. So in Caro 2020, clause 11. Remember clause 11. Why clause 11? Sir, clause 11 was related to fraud. 11 countries police is after Don to catch Don. Why? Because Don has done a fraud. So clause 11 is always related to fraud. Okay, sir. So in Caro 2020, clause 11 says any fraud by the company, any fraud on the company has to be reported to the members. Second subclause says whether any fraud under 143.12 has been reported to central government in ADT 4. So those two subclauses will come here. So these are the legal provision. Apart from this, SA 240 also talks about withdrawal and reporting in case of fraud. That whenever you identify some fraud, in such case, first of all, you should report. So report to whom? Report to any regulatory authority and report to the members of the company. Second thing, you should consider withdrawal, and withdrawal plus reasons should be told to the management, regulatory authority and those who have made your appointment. So these are the same things you will find in your answer here. See the answer to question 4. ठीक है, it's a very easy answer. Please focus. You just need to know the structure, what to be written in such answer. So start your answer with essay 240 fraud. Write the basic overall objective that we want to get reasonable assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatement due to fraud or error. As per SA 580, if you don't get a written representation, you should be alert that there can be some significant issues. So this is your introduction to the answer. Then write the facts of the case in 1 or 2 lines. Don't waste your time here. Then write the theoretical part. First theory of SA 580, if you don't get a written representation, 3 things to be done. Then 143.12 explain. ठीक है, whenever there is a fraud in the company against the company by officer or employee, report to the central government if it is 1 crore or above, or report to the audit committee or board if it is less than 1 crore. So cover both the cases of 143.12. Then Caro 2020, 2 sub clauses. Here they have not covered the clause of whistleblower complaint because there is nothing like this. So 2 fraud sub clauses will be there. And talking about withdrawal, first of all, you report the fraud to regulatory authorities and the people who have made your appointment. And then if you decide to withdraw, discuss the withdrawal and reasons with the management TCWG, again with the regulatory authority and the people who have made your appointment. Understood how to handle such type of answer? Yes, sir. So I discussed this question because answering is easy, but again, if it comes in exam and you are doing it for the first time, it will be difficult to understand what theory to write. So that's why I have given you a structure on how to write its theory. Clear, boss? Clear, sir. So with this essay 580 is completed. Now, sir, it's the time for surprise. Take 2 sips of water. Get ready. So, sir, now it is the time for 1-pager revision. 1-pager revision of the concepts of essay 580. So I think we have spent around half an hour in discussing the things till now. The next 5 minutes, this whole standard we will revise fully. Are you ready? Yes, sir. Again, these board notes are available on Telegram channel. Link is in the description. You can download from there. So SA 580 talks about written representation. First of all, the concept. It is a written statement from the management to the auditor to confirm certain matters or to support the other evidence. Acha, remember one thing, it is the last standard of 500 series and at last we take written representation. So now you can remember the name also. Now, sir, some notes from MCQ point of view. Written representation does not mean financial statement, assertions, books and records. It is a separate statement provided by the management. It is a necessary evidence but not a sufficient and appropriate evidence. So even if you have got a written representation, it does not affect the nature, timing and extent of other evidence that you can obtain as an auditor. Now, sir, objective of auditor, you just need to understand. We should take a written representation that management has fulfilled the responsibility, 3 responsibility. Preparation and presentation of financial statement as per applicable FRF. In these financial statement, all transactions are disclosed and to the auditor, all information is disclosed. Easy? Yes, sir. Apart from this, we also take it for ourselves to support other evidence and lastly respond properly whether you have got or you have not got the written representation. Now, sir, important part. What is the form of written representation? RTP September 25. It is like a representation letter from the management addressed to the auditor. One more thing to be written in the answer. If law regulation says management has to give some written public statement about its responsibilities, these matters should not be included again in the written representation. Now, sir, favorite topic of ICI, May 24 main exam, MTP May 25, MTP September 25, date and period to be covered by written representation. So talking about the date, first of all, audit report should not be dated after written representation as it is a necessary evidence. So, sir, how close the written representation should be to the audit report? As near as practicable. Because as per SA 560 subsequent events, we need written representation up to the date of audit report for all events which require adjustment or disclosure. So it should be as near as practicable to the audit report date. Now, sir, if you have taken any written representation during audit for a specific assertion, you can take a updated written representation. Now, talking about the period, written representation is for audit. So, whatever periods are covered by audit report, similarly, all periods should be covered by written representation. So, all the periods covered by audit report should be covered by it. Why? Management needs to reconfirm that the earlier written representations are still appropriate. Now, sir, for the earlier representation, do we need to take them all? No. You need to do some smart work. You can agree with the management to a form of written representation which updates the prior period written representation. How? By addressing whether there are any changes. If yes, what they are. And lastly, if there is a change of management, they are still responsible for whole financial statement. So their responsibility to provide the written representation for all periods, it still remains. Easy peasy? Yes, sir. Last two concepts we discussed: doubt about the reliability of representation. When does this doubt arise? Whenever there is an inconsistency with other evidence. So in this case, you perform additional procedure to resolve the matter. If it is unresolved, reassess the dice. So dice means, tell me the four magical words: diligence, integrity, competence, and ethical value. So if you feel management is not working properly, diligently, they don't have integrity, they are not competent, they are not ethical, now you will caution the other representation and other evidence. So consider the impact on other representations and evidence in general. Now it is as good as you have not got the evidence. So consider the impact on the opinion in audit report. That means disclaimer of opinion. Last concept: written representation not provided. That means something is fishy. Discuss the matter with the management. Definitely they are lying. So lying means they are dishonest. So re-evaluate the integrity, and again similar concept, consider the impact on other representations and evidence in general. Now again it is as good as you have not got the evidence. So take appropriate action, including the impact on audit opinion in report, that is disclaimer of opinion. We will give a disclaimer of opinion. So with this, the revision of SA 580 is done. I hope you enjoyed this revision. If you liked it, do give a like to this video. Okay. Now, sir, I think YouTube has launched a new feature of hyping the video. Okay. If you want it to reach to more students, help more students, please click the hype button also. It must be near to the comment section. New to the channel, do subscribe the channel, and yes, do share your experience in the comment section, because your appreciation is my motivation. Okay, so that's it from my side. The last thing I want to discuss before wrapping this session is this only: like the auditor gets the assurance with written representation, we also get a good assurance, a good confidence only after some written practice. So whatever subject you are doing, FR, AFM, audit, some scribbling is important. Some written practice is important, because when you scribble the points, when you write the points now, and your answer matches with the question bank answer, you get the confidence, you get the assurance that yes, this time I will clear my C exam. So just maintain the positivity, just maintain that smile on your face, and trust me, everything good will happen to you. So wish you the best. I hope you soon turn to be a chartered accountant. Keep studying with happiness, then only we progress. Keep going. All the best.